1, 2, 3, 4, 69. We're on episode 69. Welcome back. Sorry.
That caught me so off. I don't know why.
Welcome back to the TMCJ podcast. We are on episode 69, the number we couldn't stop banging on about for a while and then went silent for a little bit. We. Okay, it was me. It was mostly me.
And then I told you to stop going on about it.
I couldn't help it on the last episode because it was going to be the very next one.
Yeah, so exciting.
So with this episode, we don't have like a crazy extravaganza planned for this one, but I have a topic for segment 1 that is maybe a little I may have to mark the video on YouTube.
Ooh, is it a spicy one?
Well, I thought I already told you what it was. Segment 2, you have something for media because you've been watching something, and segment 3, we are having our first ever guest appearance. Raymond,
and the first person also on the channel who we've both met in real life.
That's true. The first time I met you in real life, we went to the vacation to the UK.
The three of us.
Yeah.
Anyway. Is that tea?
Yeah, it's green tea.
Okay, cool. Why are you drinking out of a shot glass? Sorry.
It was the glass I had available.
Okay.
Anyway.
I like to drink my milk in shot glasses.
I drink my milk in teacups. The first topic.
Yes.
Porn.
Oh.
Just right into it.
Okay.
But
dinosaurs?
No, but in particular, I wanted to talk about a few things, and they're not as spicy as it's gonna make this. I'm gonna make these boring. All right.
Okay.
So that's my goal with this topic
or you can just replace spicy words.
I could, but I'm going to do this by first of all, what are your thoughts on it becoming so completely ubiquitous? Like pretty much everyone sees it to some degree. It's like,
I mean, that's currently how it is. Really.
Yeah, I know. That's what I mean. Is like, I guess in my lifetime I've seen it go from something you really couldn't find anywhere to something you could find in like a 2-second Google search.
Yeah, well, look at any perfume ad these days, and it's rife with sexual tension.
That's true. I wonder if that's
or man odor thing. I don't know.
Advertisements have had to compete with porn.
Yeah. Can you imagine any of them being shown 20 years ago even? Yeah,
it's true. I mean, I remember one of my favorite TV shows, Mad Men. There's a whole episode, I think in the 3rd season, where this swimsuit company is worried that there's some suggestive wording on their bikini advertisement.
The wording is the dangerous thing in a swimsuit, fucking.
Yeah, it was something and they didn't want to call it a bikini. They wanted to call it a 2-piece because bikini was overly sexualized or something like that. And that was the 1960s, and now we're here.
Yeah. You get these old dudes who are you should cover your ankles and not wear trousers, that kind of stuff. I remember I was in a history lesson way back, and we were watching some, I can't remember what it was about now, and why we were watching in history, but there was this old crotchety dude being women should only be allowed to wear skirts and dresses, no trousers for women.
There was you've probably seen this picture. There's an old black and white photo of these people on the beach, and there's this guy who's using a measuring tape to measure the distance between the bottom of the woman's swimsuit to her feet, because if it was too short, it was scandalous.
Oh my god! No, I haven't seen that.
I think it's somewhere in Europe. I don't remember where, and it's a black and white photo, so it's probably from maybe the early 1900s.
Right.
But yeah, I thought of that. Whereas now you can just all right. That's the first thing.
Okay.
The second thing I was thinking about, because
when you're talking about making porn boring, I thought you'd be have you heard this latest trend of typewriter porn or something stupid?
I wouldn't be surprised if that stuff exists, but No, if I wanted to really make it boring... Actually, this isn't boring. I love this sort of thing. One of my favorite things I've ever discovered on a porn website was the statistics page on Pornhub.
I've never looked at it, but I've heard about it.
It's amazing. They broke it down by, like, what countries searched what. And, like, you can the data can be broken down. That was fascinating to me. Like, let's see. Actually, Canada. You know what Canada's most searched thing was?
Maple syrup.
No, it might surprise you. Because the Canadians are so nice, but apparently behind closed doors.
Oh, is it going to be hardcore or something?
No, it's surprise.
It's surprise?
Surprise sex.
Oh.
Which,
wait, is that
just
another word for the R
basically.
word?
Yeah, basically.
Oh, God.
That's
it's
Canada.
It's all like...
They actually did use the word surprise, I think, in the data.
It's all like characters, like it's a...
Yeah, it's like, oh.
It's not real.
Whoops.
Yeah, okay.
But and then some other predictable ones. There's some people who are very much...
Hentai in Japan.
No. Japan, the most searched word was Japanese. So there's a few countries out there. You can tell which countries want to just they like their own women, and they don't want to see anyone else's. Japan searched Japanese.
To be fair, it's kind of like England and American, just for everything on the site except specific ones that are like Japanese or Indian or that kind of thing. I imagine.
Yeah. I mean,
because I assume predominantly
you can't really search. American doesn't really work because you're talking about like a whole hodgepodge of different ethnic groups. Like American can literally be any ethnicity from the planet.
True. I mean, it's okay anywhere though. Really?
Not really. No, because Japanese, you're talking about a very specific ethnicity. Like a Japanese person is distinct from like a Korean or from a Chinese person or from, a Vietnamese person. But believe, I see the look you're making on your face, but if just to like anyone from one of those countries, tell them like don't ever say like don't ever compare like Japanese and Korean people because they can hate each other.
Okay, so if I say, Raymond, you're from Japan, right?
Raymond would probably just tell you to fuck off. But yeah, I'm trying to think of like some of the other ones. There was, I think it was either Germany, it was some other like Central European country that was searching for like family stuff, and that was kind of like,
oh, what, like stepbrother?
Yeah.
Right. I can't wait to make the thumbnail for this video, by the way.
Oh, God. But I think that the reason that fascinated me so much was not only because you read that and you're like, I was either like, oh, that makes perfect sense for what I know about like that country, or I'd be like, really? And this was something that just over the course of my life, I've sort of... You kind of see trends in like the stuff that comes up as like the most popular or something like that. And I wonder if this says something about the psychology of the wider world.
Right. What, so you think we can predetermine whether China's going to go to war with us based on their porn habits?
Yeah. I do think, well, right now their porn habits are banning it. Because the Chinese government doesn't...
True.
They're trying...
They don't want to give their secrets away, Kaiser, through...
They're trying to purge effeminate men, in their own words.
Oh my god. Suddenly it's like China just watching women with AR-15s.
They want all their men to be like Duke Nukem. Oh god. Yeah, but no, this is the sort of thing that I think about when I...
You know what these websites need? A total... So they need a category. We've heard all the others. There's like 100 of them, whatever. But everyone generally is what they are. We need actual... And hear me out after I say this.
Okay.
We need food porn. And I don't mean any kind of naked people in it. I mean literally... I think it'd be hilarious just to have, like, really nice looking... Because you know how people say food porn.
Well, have you ever seen, like, or have you heard of the video, like, mukbang videos?
Yeah, that's Korean, right?
Yeah, and it's basically that. It's people eating a whole bunch of really good food.
I don't want to see them eating it. I just want to see delicious food.
You just want to see the food, not the people eating it.
Yeah, who gives a fuck about the people?
It's just
unless you're telling me, like, just completely nude people eating spaghetti or something.
Just close-up shots of food.
Yeah, just a girl eating a meatball. I'm glad we're not recording perspectives.
Oh my god. Yeah, there's... God, there's a lot of weird stuff out there. Okay, I didn't really want to dwell on that too much, but I did want to bring that up, like, right off the bat. But going back to where I started it off, though, I think that maybe says something about how ubiquitous porn has kind of become in the wider world, because the fact that, like, what didn't fascinate, like, I could go to the site and look at what's on that, but what I actually wanted to look at was the metadata and the statistics about, like, maybe that's saying something about me, but I think that part of it is...
the statistics porn page. Yes, that really gets me.
Let me see the numbers. Yeah. Oh, God. Yeah, sorry, we're just giggling now. I swear we're both adults.
All of my topics are just, like, out the window. There's no way we can talk about anything other than something of this nature at this point for this segment.
Wait, really? You can't go back to yours? You're in a good mood
episode
now.
16. It would be such, like, a fucking, like... A fucking U-turn into nerdiness again, but it would just sound weird.
Yeah.
I was thinking, I've forgotten it.
What are your thoughts on people playing video games in porn?
Oh yeah, I skip over those every time. Not that I watch porn.
I feel like it's like the do you remember there was like...
It's so lazy.
But do you remember, like, there was a trend, like, a while back when they were realizing, like, video games were becoming, like, this big, more popular medium that wasn't really kind of like a nerdy thing anymore? Because basically pretty much everyone has, played them when they were younger. Yeah. At least in the generations that are coming up now. And so there was, like, a trend of... I can't remember... I can only remember what it was by the name of the meme. And it was like the fake gamer girl licking a controller or something like that. Yeah. Like, it was never something that extreme, but that was like the limit of. So they just find, like, some hot person that probably didn't play video games, or because they would be using, like, the wrong kind of controller for whatever they were playing on, and they'd be holding it a weird way. It's like, here, you hold this controller and look sexy because people like video games now.
The thing is, and granted, I'm sure this is not the same for most people, but I put a very strong barrier between gaming and recreational stuff. If I'm playing, like, any game, I am focused on winning.
Yeah. It's not like you're playing... Yeah, you don't want to have, like, But even, just to clarify, you're talking about, like, you wouldn't be playing a game and then having, like, a movie blasting in the background or something like that, or...
No, not a movie. I'd have, like, a podcast or...
Yeah, and I do the same thing. Well,
like podcast. The TMCJ podcast, available on Spotify and YouTube now.
Yeah, you could listen to this in the background.
While you're while you're playing games. Yeah, there's fucking ridiculous amount of porn games on Steam, but they're all basically Candy Crush or visual novels.
Yeah.
I'm watching you here, guys.
Hey, I'm not ashamed. I like visual novels. But most of the ones I like
for the story.
Well, most of the ones I like aren't really porn.
No?
Like, I don't know.
They don't have relationships.
Would you call something a porn if you say you had a book or a movie, and it took you 100 hours to finish that book or movie, and in that 100 hours, there was maybe like 20 to 30 minutes of sex. Would you call that porn?
Would I call Mass Effect porn?
Yes. Would you call Mass Effect porn?
I would not, but... No, I would not. Because people don't play the game to have the sex.
And that's what
I play the game to have the sex.
There are visual novels that you really... It's just people are out there playing it because they want to see the anime boobies. But
yeah,
most of the good ones... And most of the ones that I actually enjoy and play, they aren't like that. Like, they're just typically very well-written stories.
It depends how... Like, because Mass Effect, you can go through the whole game without seeing even a kiss.
Yeah, you can. Well, you can, yeah. You can just ignore and be perfectly platonic with the entire crew, but there's an achievement for not doing that.
But there's a lot of games... particularly along the visual novel trend, that basically the primary objective of the game is to get into a relationship, not to have sex with them, but to have a relationship. And I kind of put that in the category of softcore.
Yeah, I could see that. But those
there are other games where you just
those are more like
you come across.
Yeah, those are more like slice of life visual novels. The one I'm thinking of, which it starts off like that. The game is called Muv-Luv Alternative, and it's the third game in the series. Yeah, I know. It has a retarded name. But the premise of the game is that aliens invaded the Earth and slaughtered most of the population. And your goal, because for some odd reason, your consciousness has, like, every time you die, you just basically come back to this one point in time. And so your goal is to, wipe the aliens out and save humanity. There is, like, a love story subplot, but that's not the primary objective. That one's really good.
Okay.
It's also got some pretty intense moments in it. But it starts off as, like, one of those slice-of-life visual novels in the first game. Then the second game, you end up in this alternate world, and it's still kind of slice-of-life-y. And then the third game is when you realize you're just reincarnating over and over again, and you've got to stop the aliens.
There is one visual novel that I've ever watched. I haven't played it. I've watched people play it on YouTube.
Yeah.
And it was Cryotic, who I'm sure you know. Cry?
Is that the name of the visual novel or the name of the person that played it?
The YouTuber.
Okay, I don't know the YouTuber.
And one of the other people who were on the Co-Optional podcast, the girl, I can't remember her name.
I don't.
Anyway, they were both playing through this game called Dandelion, and
sounds really familiar.
Probably because I talked about it probably a lot of the time. And I watched that through, and yeah, it was like a whole series of teasing the moment it happening, and then one episode where it actually happened. And I'm like, oh, that was a really good series.
There was...
At least I found it very funny.
There was another one that I really, really liked, and I haven't played it in forever. And I don't It's Sharon no Kuni. I don't remember what it means in English. But the premise is, like, it's kind of this dystopian future world. Not like far future, but near future, where essentially all crimes are punished extremely harshly. And they've sort of like taken the hardcore, like, crackdown approach to solving crime, in that even the most minute crimes are handled with very severe punishments.
Yeah,
and then they have
Dredd style.
Yeah, and they have like these administrator people. I think they're in the game. They're called like special high class individuals or something like that.
Right. Sounds a bit like Psychopaths.
Yeah, it's a similar premise to that too, where but in Psychopaths they were sort of predicting people's crimes. In this one, they were, once they'd committed a crime, no matter how minor, they'd go after them. And anyway, it just follows this one. The main character is one of these special high class individuals who's going around and essentially dealing with the criminals that he's supposed to be overseeing. And there's this huge like twist ending that's just so good, and haven't played that one in a long time. I don't remember a whole lot about it. I love how from the starting point of porn, we've now made our way to visual novels that are explicitly not porn.
Well, they kind of are. Certainly to some people's minds they are.
True.
And
I mean, good movies, like a good action movie, could be, porn to some people's eyes. If we're getting into that.
I think if it's a rom-com, then yeah.
No, what I'm saying is, even going back to what you the common term food porn, right?
Yeah. That's got nothing to do with actual porn.
It doesn't, but that was my point, is that, like, that's something that's kind of become more common these days. It's like saying X porn is a way of describing something as really, really good. So food porn, action porn,
yeah,
or
true.
when the people who really like
well, action porn probably not.
Yeah, but I'm thinking of like the other one, gore porn, like a really, really gory horror movie that is really just gory for the sake of being gory.
Also, I'm not sure that's because I don't know. There's some fucked up people out there.
Oh, I'm sure there are some weirdos that get off to that, but that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about specifically the phrase gore porn. Usually refers to movies like the Saw movies, where they're just gory for the sake of being gory.
Yeah. I've never heard of that.
Oh.
I used to think like, oh god, how do these porn sites get the money to keep running for free? And then, because like no one clicks on the adverts. No one does.
I imagine I've never.
It's just like they look like the most. Like, it looks like they actually have STDs on the fucking links, and so like you just stay the fuck away from them.
You say that, but I've always thought the same thing about the advertisements that showed up on Facebook.
Right.
Because like ads that show up on social media and on Facebook, again, I've never looked at them. They're just an annoyance. They're off there to the side. Same thing with the ads that pop up on YouTube. Like, they're just annoying. They've never been right about anything I ever wanted.
Yeah. God, I'm so fucking sick of seeing Ed Sheeran.
Oh, is that you're getting Ed Sheeran? Okay, what the YouTube ad that I keep getting is about cryptocurrency.
It's because Ed Sheeran is like the face of YouTube Shorts. And YouTube Shorts, the advert for it.
What is he, like my height?
Constantly coming up. Ed Sheeran. What? The fuck?
YouTube Shorts. What is he, like my height? I was making a bad joke.
Anyway, so as I was saying, but then I worked out like there's these kind of Twitch-esque things where people donate money like you do on Twitch, and then people do stuff on live cameras and stuff, and I'm like, okay, that must get them a fuck ton of money. Yeah.
I mean, that's what's happened to Twitch. Twitch is just...
So that's why we're going over there with the TMCJ podcast. So we're raking in the money.
Twitch has just become like OnlyFans light. So I was making a point there though with those ads.
Yeah.
You and I have, never clicked on those ads. Same thing with all social media and like the stuff that comes up on YouTube. I've never bothered clicking on the ads. They're mostly just annoying. Sounds like you agree. But I know people who do. In fact, I like for Facebook in particular. I don't know anyone who clicks on porn ads. I'm talking about like social media stuff.
Oh.
Like I know somebody who, like, I was talking to them and they were saying that their wife in particular uses that as like a personalized shopping thing because Facebook's going through all the posts and is doing all the analysis.
Yeah,
and
I remember you talking about this.
And so she just leans into it and is like, oh yeah, I actually do really need that. It's like, oh, that is a really good thing that I could get.
But she actually gets stuff that she actually would use?
Yeah.
Because I don't get anything that I fucking
No, I never do either.
That being said, there have been times when we talked about stuff on the podcast. We finish the podcast, I go to YouTube, and then I get an ad about the thing we were just talking about.
You're gonna get a lot of fun ads after this one.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I've never. The other thing is I have no social media anymore. So I think they're just kind of struggling to, because the way those ads work is they data mine the stuff that you put on social media and the sort of things that you like and associate with, and that's how they sell the ads, and it goes to you that way. But I don't post anything on social media ever.
No, I was about to say that I for the first time in like years I had to boot up Facebook the other day, but now it's called Meta, not Facebook, so there's that.
Oh, sorry,
go on.
I saw the creepiest ad for Meta. The absolute creepiest ad. I was so I was out at the restaurant across the street from me, and I'm looking up at the TV, and I'm thinking, what the hell is this? It was these weird paper mache animals stalking these like urban teenage kids, like they
sounds like Facebook.
And then they, like, I don't know if they ate them or something. It was just, the ad was like surreal. It was like the kind of horror movie you would see out of like somewhere in the Soviet bloc. It was just
gore porn.
And I'm like, what is that ad supposed to? Is that supposed to make Meta look good? Like it was creepy as fuck.
Jeez.
I
had to boot that up the other day because I ran into someone I haven't seen in like 5 years, and he was like, "Oh, add me on Facebook." I'm like, "You okay?"
Why are you on Facebook?
Right? I was gonna say no, add me on Discord, and I was like, well, actually, I'm called Blue Bear on Discord, so that'd be a bit weird, and I don't want to explain that.
Yeah, you'd have to explain that one. Yeah, the way I described the advertisement was, it honestly felt like something an alien who had read the wiki on Earth culture would make. So Mark Zuckerberg, basically.
Yeah. You gotta love how he puts himself out there, though, to be memed.
I mean,
he fully knows what he's doing.
I think he's just leaned into the meme of him not being human at this point.
And wouldn't you, like...
Yeah.
I think it's great fun being memeable material.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
Oh,
I kind of put him and Elon in the same category with that.
Oh my god, Elon Musk. He did...
You have a fucking man boner for him.
He's fucking hilarious. I mean, he does some weird stuff out there, but some of his tech company ideas are just weird. Like the whole vacuum tunnel thing under LA that he's trying to do is okay in premise. It just seems weird. Who knows? Maybe he'll make it work. The spaceship things are cool.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what I think about Teslas. I have a reserve on this.
Porn.
Space. No, that's the rocket that's made by Amazon.
Is that their new brand of space dildo?
No.
Rocket?
Did you not see this?
No.
The CEO of Amazon, what's his face? Bezos.
Yeah.
He
Jeffy.
He has a company that's competing to be another like private space company, right?
Right. Haven't they already put someone on the moon
well, they did not on the moon. They went into like suborbital flight, which they crossed the line where is considered space, like in the atmosphere, right, and then came right back down. But that's not important. What's important is the rocket looked like a giant dick.
Most rockets do.
No. This one looked much more so like one. Okay. Like, more like, how did you...
Did it have balls?
It's more...
Did it have a helmet?
Yes. That.
Okay.
That is why it... Yeah. But look up a picture of it. It's hilarious. Just look up the Jeff Bezos rocket or something like that. It's...
Sending up SS Shaft. We are penetrating the orbit.
It's... I just remember first hearing about this because I was reading an article. The headline caught my eye. It was sending billionaires to space, because it was a bunch of billionaires that went up on the rocket and stuff like that, and they're doing these chartered space flights and stuff now. And I saw a picture of the rocket, and I couldn't stop giggling. It's like, why would you design it that way?
I mean, if you're going to send a bunch of billionaires into space, don't you want them inside of a giant prick?
Yeah.
So I was watching. I don't know if I told you this before. I think I said to Scott. I was watching Josh Drive Hayes clips again. He's just a beautiful guy on YouTube. And he plays lots of MMOs. Oh, he's the guy I linked the Oblivion video to you.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I've actually, ever since I watched that, I've been getting his videos recommended.
And he was... Because Amazon obviously made New World.
Mm-hmm.
And so it was a short clip of him being like, yeah, this is clearly a good way of gauging just how hard it is to make a good MMO. They can send people into space, but they can't make an MMO for shit. So whenever people say they're going to make a solo, a one-person MMO, as in from a one-person team, he's just like, nah, it's never going to happen. And yeah, he's right.
God. Well, all right. Let's not belabor this too much. I think that's a good place to end this off. God, we stretched that topic a lot further and went into some interest. We even got to space travel from porn somehow.
Yeah, I mean that's the natural progression, Kaiser.
From porn to space.
From fucking people to fucking the universe.
And on that note,
where's that big black hole?
This is going to be the goddamn it. This is going to be the end of segment 1 of the TMCJ podcast.
Straight in Uranus.
Thank you all for listening, and you'll hear us again momentarily for segment 2. Welcome back to the TMCJ podcast. We are on segment 2, our media segment, and this week we didn't do movie night because Blue was on vacation, but Blue has told me that he has been watching and or playing and or reading something that he is going to talk about.
Yes, as is befitting of episodes, I was about to say Rule 69, episode 69, I was watching a rom-com this week.
Okay.
And normally I'm not a fan of them because I'm the kind of person that likes watching either Disney or action-packed shooty films. But
Disney, some Disney movies are kind of, they have an element of romance to them, but they're not rom-coms.
Yeah, most of them do, but it's more the music that I'm sat there for.
Yeah.
No, this one was a film called Man Up. And it is the, I guess not the main character, well, the second person in the relationship, because I don't think the main character is quite the right word, was Simon Pegg? I'm terrible with names. The guy from Hot Fuzz and Shaun of the Dead.
The skinny one or the fat one?
Skinny one.
Okay, yep, I know what you're talking about.
So, he's like the second character here. The main character is this lady who's apparently from other films, but I don't know because I don't watch those kinds of films. And they're both in their 40s, I think. And she is trying to get to her parents' 40th anniversary, 30th anniversary. I think it was 40th.
If it's a rom-com, it's probably... Well, actually, you never know.
Yeah, and she's on a train, and there's an annoying person on the train sat adjacent to her.
And it's Simon Pegg?
No. It's another lady who's
apparently
about 26, and she's like, "Oh, you look really glum, and I overheard your conversation on the phone. I think you need to read this book, and I think it will turn your life around." So it's set up as a real annoying person.
Yeah.
And she's like, "Look, I'm sure you're trying to be nice and all, but fuck off," basically.
Yeah. Can we quick pause? I don't think. Don't tell random people. It doesn't matter how life-changing a movie or book or something was to you.
Yeah.
Don't tell a random person you've never met that. Like, it's just, you don't know the person. You have no idea if that book is going to have the same effect on them. If it's somebody you know really well, then, maybe.
Well,
if it's
the
right
main character, when they were talking on the phone, they were talking to their sister and they're saying, I'm 40, I still haven't got a husband or a boyfriend. And so that's what she was like, this book will help you get a boyfriend, kind of thing, and turn your life around and make you happy.
You're 40, it's too late.
Wow, really?
I'm sorry.
That's a bit.
I was being that's mean, but
yeah. So she, the main character, then falls asleep on the train, and she wakes up, and the girl has left the book there with a note in it. So she opens the book where the note is, and it's got a big arrow to a passage basically saying, your miserableness is dragging you down and everyone else around you. So real fucking bit of an attack there. She jumps off the train in London because she fell asleep.
I thought that she fuck, I thought she actually just fucking killed him.
No. In London. It was the last stop. And
she disembarks from the train. She does not leap from the train.
Well, she's in a rush and she's trying to catch up to the woman and be like, fuck you.
Not to say, hey, you forgot your book, but to say, hey, f off. I'm not miserable.
Well, would you be like, oh, you forgot your book after that super passive-aggressive note?
I probably would, actually.
I'd be like, oh, you forgot your book, and I'd throw it on the tracks. Go get it.
Yeah, I might do something passive-aggressive like that. But no, I find that, like, the best way to treat obnoxious people is to just be super polite. Like, be so sickeningly polite that they just don't want to talk to you anymore.
Yeah. So, they're in London, Paddington train station. I think
I've been there.
What the train station's called. Yeah. It's very recognisable, I would say. And there's a big clock in the middle of it. And underneath that, she's standing there. She sees the girl going into a bookstore to buy another of the same book. Because she is meeting up with someone for a blind date. And the way they recognise each other is by having those books, right?
Yeah.
So, Simon Pegg turns up and he looks at the main character. He's like, oh, you've got the book. You must be my date. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, so
it's a blind date.
Book lady left
someone holding the book.
Book lady left the book. Wait, so hold on. Was Book lady supposed to be dating Simon Pegg?
Blind date.
Blind date. Yeah, I know.
Blind date. Yeah.
But she was the one. So she left the. Was this her like just donating a boyfriend?
No. So she gave her the book because she thought, oh, this book could really help this person. And then she was in a shop while all this was happening. As in, when they arrived at the station...
Oh, okay, so...
The pain-in-the-ass lady was going to buy another of the same book from the store. So the plan would still work for her.
Gotcha, okay. Yep.
But he sees the main character first with the book, and he's like, oh, you must be my date. And he does a lot of the nervous ramblings of a person who's going on a blind date. And they kind of... And she's like, no, it's... Fuck it. Yeah, let's walk and talk. So she steals the other lady's date. And they're walking along.
Is this one of those, the best revenge is living well? And stealing your shit? Sorry, go on. I'm interrupting a lot, but go on.
No, it's fine. And so they're talking, and it's like super fucking awkward conversation, like you'd expect. And he's like, "Oh, so you're 26?" And she's like, "Oh, I'm 40 in my head," but she's like, "Oh, sure." Oh, and you're a triathlete? Sure. Do you know what I mean? So he knows bits about the other girl.
Yeah, I know. He knows about the other girl. I know exactly what you mean. I'm just thinking, like, oof. How like blind is this guy? I'm sorry.
The main character's attractive looking, but
don't get me wrong. She might be attractive looking. It's just one of those things that I would never. except in very rare circumstances. Like, I'm bad at telling how old people are in general. Like, I routinely guess people are either way younger or way older than they are. And I'm usually wrong. Like, I had a coworker that for the longest time I thought they were in their mid-20s. They're apparently in their early 30s. Like, I've had other coworkers who embarrassingly, I thought that they were a lot older, but it turns out they're younger than me. Or vice versa. It just, I'm bad at that. But even I think I could tell the difference between 26 and 40.
Yeah, I think it was a bit.
Anyway, but go on.
And yeah, so they go to a bar. He's like, yeah, let's go get drinks. And so they're at this place, and oh god, I'm trying to remember now. They are drinking, and she's about to be like, oh no. So they're like, oh, let's trade diaries, because apparently another thing that they're planning on doing on the blind date was they'd write a bunch of things about themselves, hand it over to the other person, and see which kind of matched up in their diary things, right? And the main character didn't have, obviously, that, but they did have kind of the book that had their 40th anniversary speech in it, and just other daily chores, like stuff like that.
Okay. I like that.
So it was like, wash black pants or something in there. And so he was like, oh, is that... What's that? And she's like, oh, it's a new metal band. Very new. Stuff like that. Anyway, it's quite funny.
Yeah.
They drink, then she's about to be like, you know what? I gotta come clean. And he says something stupid, and she's like, fuck it, maybe I won't come clean.
Stupid, like stupid charming, or stupid, she's like, I'm gonna take this rube for all he's worth, stupid?
Well, she's looking for a relationship as much as he is, so I guess she's just like, if he's happy, I'm happy.
Yeah.
That kind of thing. And he's like, oh, so do you like bowling? She's like, I love bowling. Great, they go off bowling. They're at the bowling.
You know what I'm reminded of here? I'm reminded of that quote from Lord of War, when he's trying to seduce his future wife.
Right.
And he's like, it's like, I found that most successful relationships are based on lies and deceit. Since that's where they end up most of the time anyway, it's a logical place to start. And it's just like, that's a very different movie than this one.
Yeah, it's a little bit less extreme.
But that is still where they're starting. They are still starting with her yoinking the other girl's date.
Yeah, that's true. So, bowling alley scene, there's a lot of shots of her ass as she's throwing the ball. And then...
Those aren't allowed in Mass Effect anymore.
True. It's been very much not allowed in Mass Effect. And so she goes over to the bar to get drinks or something, and there's a guy behind the bar. He's like, I'm the guy that used to sit next to you in science class. Do you not remember? And I was the fat one that no one liked. And you didn't dump, you rejected me, like, or something like that. She's like, okay, I'll have the drinks now, thanks. And obviously she's going by a different name as well.
Yeah.
And so he's being, like, super creepy and stalkery.
What, the bartender guy?
Yeah. And he comes over to the table and he's, like, calling her by her real name. And she's like, no, go to the side. And tells him what's going on. And he's like, alright, I won't tell him the truth, but you gotta suck my dick.
What the fuck, really?
And she's like, no. And it kind of, the severity of it keeps going down and down and down to, it's like, okay, one kiss or something. So she's in the ladies like doing up her hair or makeup or something, I can't remember. And suddenly one of the toilet doors open and he's like in boxers, just standing there like, I'm ready for the kiss. It's so fucking cringe.
I'm sorry, is this movie British?
It is. It's set in London.
Okay, yeah. I should have known from the Simon Pegg thing and everything like that, and you did say it was in a station in London originally.
So then, for some reason...
the reason I'm asking, sorry, this is very British rom-com.
Okay.
There's a very distinct different, like, there's the kind of rom-coms you get in the US, and there's the kind of rom-coms you get over there, and I have noticed that they are... You guys lean a little bit more into the awkward side of things.
Yeah, I'm not a massive fan of those scenes. So... Yeah, she is, like, leaning in to kiss the guy as, like, so that he doesn't tell. And then Simon Pegg enters the women's bathroom and is like, you're gone for a while, so I came to check on you or something. And it's like, oh my god, you were going to kiss him. This is all a sham. I think she then is, like, comes clean about what's going on. And he's like, you fucking psychopath. And he's all ready to
No, that's a logical thing, like...
It is fairly.
No, anyone who would be doing... No, it's like, come on, sorry, yep.
So he's like, okay, I'm him home. And then he realizes, oh, I left my bag at the bar that we were at before. And she's like, oh, that bag had my diary in it, which I need for the speech in it. So they rush out of the building, and he jumps in a taxi, and he's like, take me to the pub. And she's like, what the fuck are you on about? Just fucking walk there. It's like a 10-minute walk. And so this car/running scene happens, where they're both determined to be the first one to reach the pub first. And she's like sprinting down side streets and shit, and he's in the back of the taxi saying, you know, faster, beat the bitch, kind of thing. They get back to the bar, and Simon Pegg's ex-wife is there with her new husband or boyfriend or something. I don't know.
And so what? Now he's going to pretend to be with the woman again?
Exactly.
I got this. I know where the plot's going.
And so a complete 180. He's like, yeah, I'm just out here with my girlfriend. Right here.
Awkward arm.
Yeah. And she's a bitch, the ex-wife. And he's actually had like the divorce papers in his bag. And they're like, oh, let's sit together and have a drink. Because it's, I don't know, an event. It's the cheating boyfriend who suggests this. So they all sat down. And
so hold on, ex-wife cheated on him?
Yes, they had an affair.
Oh, fuck. Yeah. I'm sorry. Don't talk to her again. No.
Yeah. So they sat down, the four of them, and Simon Pegg is obviously getting very emotional, like angry/sad about it. And I can't remember, I think he gets up to go somewhere. Or she talks to him briefly and she's like, no, don't let them rule your life. And she turns back and she's like, starts going on the smuttiest rampage about just all the like sexual shit that they get up to.
Wait, the ex-wife or the 40 chick?
The main character in Simon Pegg's.
Okay. So she's trying to talk it up to make ex-wife jealous. Okay. Yeah, I can respect
she's
that.
Like, I don't like this bitch. Because while Simon Pegg is gone, she leans over and she's like, so you cheated on him? And they're like, no, we didn't cheat on him. It was a thing of love. She's like, so you cheated on him?
Yeah.
No. There's you cheated on him. And eventually they just shut up. Because yes, they cheated.
Yeah.
And
you can romanticize it and justify it all you want, but you know what you did.
Yeah. Simon Pegg's like, alright, here's the divorce papers, hands them over. I'm sorry they're not signed in my blood like you would have wanted. And she's like, alright, grabs him, pulls him away. And she's like, they're on the dance floor. She's like, you can't you can't let them know that it bothers you, kind of thing. And there's like they're dancing and talking to each other until eventually he's like, stop trying to talk to me like you know me, kind of thing. I've got a fucked up life. And has a like small like panic attack looking thing. Runs off to the bathroom. She follows him into the men's bathroom. And accidentally opens the stall with a dude just taking a fucking dump. Oh, sorry, wrong one.
You Brits do like your toilet humor.
Oh, apparently so. Goes into one that Simon Pegg is in, and he's like on the toilet crying. And he's like, what the fuck is wrong with me? I'm a 40-year-old man, ex-wife, and I'm crying on a toilet. And there's a very funny and quite emotional scene that goes on between the two of them. They come back out, and I can't. They there's more funny shenanigans. The cheating boyfriend accidentally gets set on fire. And
how the fuck?
Because as part of the story towards the cheating people, they said that she was like a fire marshal, fireman, whatever.
Yeah.
And so the cheating ex-wife turns to her and she's like, "You're a fireman, do something!" And so she just grabs a fire extinguisher and just blasting them both with foam. Yeah. I feel like I'm talking too much, but it's because I'm doing a synopsis of the film, so I'm like, just gonna keep going.
No, this is how I feel when I'm doing the synopsis. You get used to it.
So they head back to the train station because she has to get to the, what was it? Anniversary?
It was a reunion, I think you said.
Well, it's the 40th anniversary of her parents.
Oh, right, yeah, that's what 40, okay.
And she's like, "Oh, it was really fun tonight. Maybe you want to come with me to the anniversary." And while she's saying that, he's like, well, better go kill the girl that I didn't actually meet today, and organize that date again." And she's like, "Wait, what? Do you want?" He's like, "Yeah, you told me back in the bathroom that I should be going out there and doing these things." And she's like, "Well, you want my permission or something? Just go and do it." And he's like, "Alright, great, I will." He's like, "Alright, bye." And he suddenly, like, after he said bye, he gives her a small peck on the cheek, and then they part. And she goes to the train, fucks off to wherever it is that, I don't know. So he then goes ahead and has the real date with the 26-year-old girl, athlete person. And bear in mind, he's 40 and she's 26. And they have very different fields of knowledge. Go on.
There's an interesting little piece of statistical data I want to interject here. Mm-hmm. Yeah, especially regarding we talked about the dating or the statistics that you get off of.
I was gonna say, are we talking about porn statistics?
No, we're talking about dating site statistics.
Okay.
And what you find is that the average age that men of all ages will talk to on a dating site is like mid-20s. Yeah. Like the
prime.
Well, essentially, yeah. But women tend to reach out to men either of their own age or older.
Yeah.
And so the whole 26 and 40 thing it's not like odd. It's not common, but it's not odd.
I mean, yeah.
But it is. It would. But that you're about.
I feel like online business manager talking to a 26-year-old athlete is a little bit.
It might be, and the thing is, but what I'm saying is, it's not weird. It's just uncommon. That's the point I was trying to make. But it is perfectly reasonable for like a younger woman wanting to go for an older man, and an older man being attracted to a woman. And again, she's not like super young. She's 26.
Yeah.
I guess it depends on how old he is. 40 is kind of pushing it a little bit. I guess I think 26 is still like, 26 is still like only, a few years ago for me. But I guess by the time I hit 40, it might be pretty weird.
So,
but sorry, no. I had one other point, and this is, okay. I think, what you're about to get to, and this is the reason it isn't more common. I think is because people with that big of a gap are going to have serious either gaps in interest or gaps in knowledge. So I think you were saying something about like them.
It was a quote from a film that he made, and she was like, "I don't know what that film is." Yeah. This
is what I figured was going to happen. But go on, I want to hear.
And then she was like, "Oh yeah, no." He said, "I dabble in art," and he was like, "Well, what the fuck am I talking about? I don't really dabble in art. I've got more important things to do in my life," kind of thing. And she responds with, "Oh, I got an A star in my A levels in art," and he makes like I got like a B or something, and I don't know. He just starts thinking about the other girl, and he's like, picks up the hints that were very obvious earlier, I guess.
Yeah.
And he's like, "I'm sorry, I've got to go," and she's like, "It's fine. I appreciate the story. The whole, it's like a romantic thing." And she's
does he like confess everything that happened and
sort of, yeah.
Yeah, and she's like, "Oh, it's romance."
Yeah. And so he's like, "Oh, but I don't know where she lives, so how am I going to find her?" Goes back to the bowling alley where the creepy stalker guy is.
And he asks him.
And he's still wearing the guy's scarf because Simon Pegg gave the scarf, wrapped the scarf around her. And then in the bathroom scene, the creepy dude took the scarf off of her and had it around him, and he just walked out with it. And so he's still got the scarf on, and he's like sniffing it and stuff. Because he's a creepy stalker guy.
Okay, yep, go on.
So he finds this guy like playing snooker. And he's like, I can't remember how he convinces him to help him. But he's like, "Alright, it's action time, let's go." Cut to car scene driving very dangerously with him making derogatory jokes about being able to drive one-handed. And the creepy dude drops him off at a different house to which is actually hers, and then the creepy dude goes on to the right house.
Okay, so this guy's still trying to play his weird stalker game.
Yeah. So the main character lady has arrived at the anniversary. She walks in. She's like, "Oh yeah, sorry I'm late," and then just starts fucking crying in front of her family. And suddenly all the scenes link up, and they're like, there's a knock at the door, and they turn around, and instead of Simon Pegg, it's the creepy dude. But none of the family have seen the guy before, so they just assume it's the same person, and they're like, "Oh my god, you're here!" And
they welcome him in, and okay, yeah, this is. Yeah. God, I'm getting like secondhand cringe just from listening to it.
Simon Pegg turns up at, the house that he was dropped at was like a kind of like a college party where like it's just a bunch of fucking teenagers drunk and probably high.
Yeah.
There's a girl throwing up in the sink. He's like, "Does any of you know where this girl is?" And one of them's like, "That used to be my babysitter," or something. I don't know why I did that. It's a female voice that I was trying to do. That was bad. And so he goes running out of the house with the person, and the entire household follows them, just running down the street.
I can picture this in my head. Yeah. No, I can actually. I've seen enough of these cheesy movies to be able to picture this.
And he spots the guy's car when they eventually get to the right street. And inside, she's like kind of comatose. She's sitting on the sofa, just dead eyes. And he's like got a spoon with some mousse on it or something, and he's going like, and just like splodging it on her fucking face because she won't open the mouth.
I would have laughed at that. I did laugh at that. I laughed at just the thought of that.
And so she starts making a speech, and she's like, it didn't go that well tonight, but I'm glad I got out there and tried, even though I kind of stole someone else's date. And then suddenly he's there at the window, and the window opens, and he does a combat roll through it, and makes a really fucking cheesy speech, which is very cringe. But I suppose to some people it would be very romantic and emotional.
It depends. I'll wait till you finish the finale. I have a few thoughts that I want to say near the end of this.
So then, obviously, Simon Pegg's never met any of her family, and so he's like, oh, I've never met any of you before. But, you know, they make a joke, and then they start kissing in front of everyone, and everyone's cheering, which is kind of fucking weird. And then they fucking run to the bathroom and start having sex. Just that fast, I guess. And the creepy dude's like outside the door, and
sniffing the doorknob or something.
The main character calls back to the door, just kind of to get him to go away. She's like, "I'll send you pictures later." And he's like, "Oh yeah," and then leaves the house, and everyone outside is the kids partying and stuff. And that's basically it.
I actually do. The story progression was very kind of obvious. And the one thing I want to say before I forget was right at the end there, the whole speech thing. This is one of those things that I think back to, like, you know, some of the things that I've said in relationships that have been, in hindsight, kind of cringy and like cheesy, but like if you're in like that kind of like the little romantic bubble with the other person, then they don't come across that way, because it's the emotional content. You're being cheesy to try and like show, you know, charm or whatever. It doesn't always work. The sort of stuff you see in movies like that always makes me cringe a little bit, and I like to think that even the cheesiest things that I've done or said, like to a significant other, have not been that cheesy.
You remember when I said about, like, they were talking about, she was saying how, like, they're sexcapades in front of his ex-wife. So he referenced that conversation in front of his whole family. It's gone. Take a minute.
Oh, fucking
that was referenced, which in itself is wildly inappropriate.
Yeah.
And
not in public. Oh, God. Okay, yeah, go on.
Then also, something about some just cheesy fucking line from earlier in the story, which I really hoped wasn't going to come up again, but it came up at like the most pivotal moment.
So it's like just when you're like, oh, it's all coming together, this is a serious moment, and it's like, oh, let's reference this other weird thing that happened earlier.
Also, just the fact there was like a crowd of 100 kids out the front, just like, yeah. And they had no vested interest, and I don't even know why they left the house. They left a house full of alcohol. That's not something that a college student would do.
To be fair, like, I've been at parties where some weird shit has happened, and we've just decided to do something stupid. I was at a party one time where, mid-party, the host decided she wanted a fire pit. And they didn't have a fire pit.
Yeah.
And I was the designated driver that night, so I wasn't drinking. And so it was like, all right, you're driving me to Home Depot. And so I took her and two of her drunk friends to fucking Home Depot, where they looked around and bought this weird egg-shaped fire. It wasn't even a fire pit. It was like a weird clay furnace thing.
Right.
And they bought it and brought it back, and they bought wood there too, and we're just burning it in the backyard. Drunk people decide to do some stupid shit. They will go on misadventures. They will leave alcohol to go on some misadventures. I've seen it happen. I've done it myself.
It was just so cringe.
But anyway, yeah.
I feel like that's an integral part of rom-coms, unfortunately. I mean, that's why I didn't watch them that much.
They do seem to be a little bit kind of ridiculous. That does seem like, I don't know if I'm insulting. It sounds like the kind of thing that if it were ported to the US, Adam Sandler would be a main character. I don't know. I've never been a huge... Some of them I'm okay with.
Yeah.
Like, there's some that are very charming, and, like, they handle the comedy element of it kind of with a bit more tact. That one feels like it was more comedy than romantic. Like,
yeah,
the romance was there to facilitate the comedy.
Yeah. And I will say, I'd say I've been using the word cringe a lot throughout it, but it was actually a really good film.
Yeah. But every now and again, like even movies and films and TV shows that I really like, every now and again there's an episode or something where I'm like, I just...
Also, I am terrible. If something is cringe enough, I will just stop watching it. And I didn't for this. It wasn't that bad.
Breaking Bad, a great TV show. I never finished it. I tried to watch it all the way through 2 times, but I stopped around the second. In season 3, all the horrible, cringy scenes with the main character's wife were so bad that I just dropped the show. I couldn't keep watching, and I just wouldn't go back to it. Finally, I finished the series because I just fast-forwarded through those scenes. And then once you push past that, there's actually a lot of good content in the 4th and 5th seasons and stuff.
I think I only saw the first 2. Oh. I saw up to the point where he blew up the drug dealer's den with like the fucking fake cocaine rocks.
That's one of the highlights of the series. There's good stuff after that, and the last season is phenomenal. The 3rd season gets so cringy that it's difficult to finish. But sorry, I'm getting distracted. The other point I wanted to make, and I wanted to clarify the point I was making earlier with the whole age difference thing, because I predicted this. Because if somebody is dating someone who is like not significantly, but like say more than 4 or 5 years different in their age, there will be that kind of content gap where they have different interests. They're at a different stage of their life. They have. I'm thinking of I'm thinking of my parents here. My mom is 8 years older than my dad, and so there's always going to be like a bit of a gap in interest and stuff like that. So it didn't surprise me when he did start to go on the date with the 26-year-old, and he was just thinking of the girl who was his own age because they're at the same stage in life.
Also, they were actually having... I mean, it doesn't really matter the age. If you're having a good conversation with someone, it's just going to be natural that would happen. Yeah. Like, if you're talking to someone who just very... Like, he's an IT online kind of person. The other girl's a triathlete. The main character lady was a journalist, I think. Yeah, so their interests really didn't match up at all.
So, like, him and the triathlete girl.
It's like if you tried to date, I don't know, a vegan. I'm sure you'd find other things to talk about, but, like, there would always be that.
I mean, if I ever dated a vegan, our meal times would just be filled with me mocking them. And probably them trying to make me feel guilty for all the animals I eat.
Yeah.
But if it's the right person, that could actually be just a fun little bit of banter.
It could.
We just couldn't use the same frying pans.
Also true. God, can you imagine? Have to divide up the house pretty much.
There was I knew somebody in college who actually had a vegan housemate. No, was it a vegan or vegetarian housemate?
Yeah.
And I think it was a couple, and they were both vegan vegetarians, whatever they were. They were both the same variety. I think the girl was more extreme. And my friend, he had a nice cast iron frying pan, and so he'd cook up meat and bacon and stuff. And the guy, even though he couldn't eat meat, he would cook up his vegetables in that cast iron frying pan because it would give it a flavor of meat. He's like, you already ate the animals, but I can still have a little bit of the flavor.
I guess, yeah.
He's skirting the rules a little bit, but...
Well, I was looking at a menu the other day, and it was like, this meal comes with vegan wine. I'm like, vegan wine? What the fuck? Isn't all wine vegan? No. Apparently it gets put through some pork bone or something. I don't know.
There's a restaurant near my office, which I went to earlier today, which has everything is plant-based there. They sell plant-based food and beer, and that's it. And going through, like, they list explicitly on the menu that everything is plant-based, and they'll have things like it's a bowl with like ramen noodles and chicken, or like a stir-fry thing, but it's not real chicken, it's like plant-based chicken and stuff. So I had to look at the menu a few times to really see, because they actually say at the bottom of the menu, everything is made, there is no meat, it's all made of plants, and they say it in like big bold letters because they say chicken on the menu, not plant-based chicken, they say chicken. Yeah. They also have a pepperoni pizza, which is apparently made out of some sort of a vegetable and flavor mixture.
Yeah.
It just
call it something different. Just call it whatever the thing that you're putting on it is.
It was just, I don't know. I don't understand vegetarianism. Actually, I'll take that back. I understand the vegetarians that do it because they think it's like a healthier lifestyle.
Yeah.
Because, like, okay, you know, I understand people that go on diets. I've done the paleo diet. I used to do that when I was doing CrossFit, where you cut out like processed foods altogether, and it's just like meat and fruits and vegetables and nuts and stuff. And that was really good. Felt pretty healthy when I was on that. So I can respect that. What confuses me is that I'm going to save the planet vegetarian. Sorry, this has nothing to do with the movie. I'm going on a rant. Right. I'm going on a rant now.
God, this has been a long fucking podcast.
Yeah, it has. But I mean, we've
good stuff though. Yeah.
There's a lot of content on it. Anyway,
and this is definitely the second segment we've recorded.
Damn it! You're pulling back the curtain. They don't know. My editing magic will make it so they don't know. Yeah. I mean, the movie sounds like a lot of fun. I didn't have a whole... I mean, other than what I said during your synopsis, I didn't have a whole lot more to say.
I left out most of the jokes because I can't tell them like Simon Pegg can tell them.
No, well, you don't want to like try to repeat a joke scene or something like that. And,
yeah.
But one thing I did notice throughout the entire synopsis was I was picturing it in my head. I'm like, the British rom-com definitely has a very different feel from the American rom-com.
Right.
Anyway. Alright. Anything you want to say before we close out the segment and move on to our guest segment?
No, I think I'm ready for that. I can't wait to hear what Raymond has to say.
Fucking, you didn't have to. Alright. This is going to be the end of segment 2 of the TMCJ podcast. Thank you all for listening, and you'll hear us again momentarily for segment 3. Welcome back to the TMCJ podcast. We are on episode 69, segment 3, our very first guest segment. Raymond, welcome to the podcast.
Hey guys, thanks for having me.
That was so...
It was so like morning talk show.
I forgot you said you were going to do that. Long time fan, first time calling in.
Do I get a badge for doing this?
So
badge? He promised he was going to pay me.
Oh my
what?
gosh.
What?
He's not paying me.
You get him a free pen. But so we decided to just start the segment because we realized we were all three just kind of reminiscing and talking about the first time that Blue and I mentioned this earlier in the podcast that all three of us have actually met in real life. And it was the first time I met Blue. Raymond and I decided, we were going to take a vacation to England. And
first time in person, I should point out. We knew each other for a long time before.
Yeah, that is true. But got there, showed up. But the story that the story that we were just telling was one of the other things that we did before we met up with you, Blue. Was Raymond's coworker was taking Raymond and I around London, and the particular story that I stopped there that I want to finish was with a few others of his coworkers. We went out to a sports bar. They had a football game on. Not football like we would call it football. Football like the Brits call it football. The soccer. That was a very awkward way for me to explain that. And it was Liverpool versus Seville. And Raymond's coworkers, seeing that, this obviously being an English bar, and in downtown London, and there were definitely some people around with Liverpool jerseys on, he's like, I'm going to try to get everyone killed in here. And so he starts pounding on the table going, let's go Seville! Go, go, go! They were not happy.
No, I can imagine. Honestly, the biggest thing I remember from the trip is probably something that I wasn't even there when it happened. Just the video of you two seeing the sign for the lift. I don't know why that sticks in my memory so much.
I don't know. My memory from that night was me being me. I'm always, the kind of like the traveling asshole kind of thing. Like, I'm trying to be an asshole to everyone. So we stepped into the bar, and, as Matt mentioned about football and soccer, I was like, oh, you know what? I'm going to be the ugly American. I'm like, football? Let me show you guys what real football is. And the next thing you know, my coworker, or ex-coworker at this time, he went, what are you trying to do? Get yourself stabbed? I'm like, by who? And it's like, you know what? Let me help you. Let's go, Seville!
that was the lead up to the story. Yeah. You actually, The other
I assume you're a few drinks in by this point.
We didn't even have any drinks at that point.
We just got back to London.
In.
Yeah.
Okay.
This was pre-drinks, Raymond.
Oh, yeah. Post-drink Raymond is a lot worse.
There was, oh God, what else happened in that trip? There was
this lady.
Yep, yeah, there was the lady who was lecturing about like how America couldn't do anything without the Brits and just everything. We were at a casino. We were playing blackjack, and this lady sitting next to me, which I thought it was hilarious. I was just laughing at the thing, but she was, gave a very.
I don't know. I had a completely different memory of that casino night we went to. My memory was we sat down somewhere playing blackjack or something, and the Chinese lady right next to me was like speaking Chinese to me. And she's like, "Oh, do you understand?" And obviously I did. And again, me being me, I was fucking with it. No, I don't understand. And then she was speaking Chinese to her other friend or husband. I don't know who he was, but it was Cantonese. We have two major dialects, Cantonese and Mandarin. And she was like, "Oh, what kind of Chinese doesn't speak Chinese? He's so useless." And then I think I turned around and says, "Hey, guess what? I do speak it, you bitch."
Wow. You did not say that.
I said something along those lines.
Those ladies are like 60 years old.
Yeah, exactly. This wasn't like
I was just having fun.
Oh my god. Yeah, that was the fucking...
I forgot what was that place called where you were from when we went to the casino? Where's that place called?
The city?
Yeah.
Bournemouth.
Yeah, I thought it was an amazing time when we first went. I mean, obviously, I met you before that too, right? And, I met you through, playing PUBG.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Did we?
And then...
Yeah,
that's where I met you. And then I met you in person.
There's videos on the YouTube channel of the three of us in PUBG games.
Yeah, and that was way before we went to England, and
I know I met you previously. I just couldn't remember what game it was on.
Yeah, and then I met you in person in the UK, and my memory of that night was really fun. Other than the fact that Matt decided to rent a giant Mercedes that nobody else had that.
And then drive on the wrong side of the road.
And driving on the wrong side of the road.
Okay, hey.
And the wrong speed, because, we don't use SI units, because we're the dumbass of the world. So he's like, oh my god, he was like 90 miles an hour. Let's go!
While remarking that the roads here were a lot smaller than the ones in America.
They are. So I should they're exaggerating a few things. I only drove on the wrong side of the road once. And it was after I pulled out of your driveway, Blue.
And I shouted at you.
It was a side street with no lines in the road and no other cars moving around. It was safe to be on the wrong side of the road there.
Oh, I have to say, that weekend was so memorable. Yeah. Mainly because, there's just so many memories, right? The Korean restaurant. The lady hasn't really seen Asians like around her area, so she was like,
oh yeah, that's good.
That lady
she was like,
just,
just
yeah.
awesome.
Yeah,
like,
she was amazing.
Really great service. She was like, oh, we don't see that many Asians here that also appreciates, Korean food. And Matt is a huge fan of bulgogi. So the moment we sat down, he's like, bulgogi.
I know. I love Korean barbecue. So yeah,
I remember the boss sat down with us too.
Yeah, she did. Yeah, she sat down, was chatting with. We got a ton of food. 2 bottles of soju.
Well, a ton of food it was good food, don't get me wrong, but there wasn't that much of it for the fucking price we paid.
And then the hotel we went to, for some reason, we only had like 2 full-size bed and a twin that I can't even fit into, so they shoved me in a crib.
No, you shoved yourself in a crib, alright?
I may have had a few drinks.
There is video evidence of this, that, like, you were back in the crib, and in the video, I'm like, we just dumped Raymond out of this crib, and then he jumped back into it. Yeah, they gave us like a queen bed and then two like full size beds off to the side and a crib for whatever reason. Because any time you want a room with that many beds, maybe you want a crib too, or it was just they had it there.
Because 3 men checking into a hotel need a crib.
Oh yeah.
And then we got stuck in the elevator with like 3 elderlies.
Come
on in, it will fit. I'm pretty sure we won't. It's okay.
All of the elevators were too small in the UK. All of them.
At the time, I was like 180 something pounds, and I'm like, I don't think you know how big I am.
Oh, okay. Speaking of, can we talk about the flight back? Because on the flight back, we flew, just in normal seats. It was 3 across. Raymond's fat ass was in the middle seat. And I was in the aisle seat, so I was constantly shoved out, and every time they pushed the fucking cart down the alleyway, it rammed me in the shoulder.
And then ever since then, Matt has this, like, thing against me. So, like, Matt usually, like... He usually plans, like, entire vacations as well, including flight tickets, because he gets points for his, like, company car or something.
Yeah.
I don't know. So, like, there was a couple more times we went on trips, and then every single time...
I know the trip he's talking about.
Every single time, he places me next to this, like, fat guy who smells. So, also around the time I met my wife, so we would travel together, the 3 of us.
It didn't place them together. It placed them in different parts of the plane.
Places in different parts of the plane, and I'm always right next to a fat guy who...
Because you can bring up a head and be like,
okay,
who's the fattest guy that you've got about to go on board in that airline?
No, so all 3 of us sat next to some variety of weirdo. Actually, the fat guy was probably the most normal person. So
that is true.
Raymond got placed next to this extremely fat guy, so he was squashed the whole flight.
Yeah.
His wife got placed next to a woman that was going on and on about how she loved this new show she saw called Ancient Aliens.
Oh my god, yes.
And I had upgraded myself because I got automatically upgraded because I had the fancy status, and I got placed in first class next to a drunk crazy man who was telling me about all these conspiracy theory websites I could access through text message.
Well, in first class, can't you just become drunk as well, and then it's not a problem?
Yes, that's what I did.
Yeah, there we go.
And the guy, to be fair, the guy passed out like 20 minutes into the flight, which was understandable because I think he had a few before he got on, and then he pounded 2 scotches before we even took off. So
I was going to say, is it just like cheap champagne, or is it?
No, you can Delta's pretty good. It's like I think they have a 12-year scotch on most domestic flights. It's not like super high shelf, but it's not like crap tier.
Speaking of scotch, you probably appreciate this, Matt. So I kind of took your tradition, on the last night before, you flying back home or going back home from your vacation, kind of going out with a bang. Right. So yesterday at dinner, my wife and I sat down for, we always try to go for like fine dining on our last nights.
Yeah.
So yesterday we went to this really, upscale restaurant, in like downtown Portland, Maine. And on the menu, I saw there was like different kinds of like scotch. So I ordered myself a Macallan rare cask. And it was probably one of the best scotch I had.
Very nice.
So now I'm thinking that, whenever we travel on the last night, not only am I going to order some really good scotch, I'm going to order something I never had before. And if it's really that good enough, I'm going to buy the bottle when I come home.
Yeah, well, one of the things I started doing, and this was a suggestion from you, Blue, I believe, was when I started traveling extensively for work. It's like just everywhere you go, try to get some local variety of, something. Be it like a local like booze of some kind, or some kind of like from Switzerland, it was chocolates and stuff that I brought back. Just something local that I can have as like a souvenir, whether. And not something that I'll actually consume, but something I'll just have to put on a shelf and be like, that's from that trip. That's from that trip.
Yeah, I do that kind of a bit with close I drink rum.
Yeah.
Frankly, I don't know anyone else that rum is their favorite drink. I think I'm just on my own in this category.
I do that too, but with Starbucks mugs.
He did, yeah.
Starbucks mugs. You just pikey Starbucks mugs.
No,
I do collect Starbucks mugs.
They make commemorative Starbucks mugs that have the city that you're in.
Oh right, you can buy them. Okay, yeah. I thought you meant you were just fucking yoinking them from the cafe.
Just before he leaves the city, he does a smash and grab.
The more interesting bottles of rum, I always just keep.
Yeah,
there's some cool fucking bottles out there with alcohol.
I've done that with there's a Johnny Walker does these traveler edition scotches. There are 3 of them last I checked, and you can only buy them in airports. Right. So they had the Silk Road, the Gold Road, and the Queen's Road or the King's Road or something. I don't remember what the third one's called, but I have all 3 of them. And so, I made it a point when I was traveling. I was like, I need to, on these trips, over the course of it, I managed to get all 3, and I haven't opened them. I think in one instance I bought 2 of them and I kept one and then had the other. But yeah, stuff like that, like the little collectible stuff. You get it to put it on a shelf and appreciate it.
Yeah. Well,
this turned into like just talking about traveling.
Yeah.
Hey, this entire pandemic, I wish I was traveling more.
Yeah. I think, Raymond, I'm traveling for the first time next Monday.
I did. So we still haven't gone on a flight yet. So, so far we're still doing like small road trips.
Yeah, that's all I did last. Actually, you and I and your wife all went down to the Cape last winter, didn't we?
We did. That was a year ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's when we also got our new car that you had the liberty to just floor it the moment you got off the exit.
They got a Tesla, and it has instantaneous acceleration because it's an electric car. So I felt the need to like, oh, hey, look, we're on the highway now. I'm on the on-ramp. I'm going 30 miles an hour. Boom, I'm going 70.
Only reason I don't like those things is because they are so fucking quiet.
You don't like it because they're quiet?
Yeah. Like, I barely pay attention when I'm crossing the road. There's a fucking Tesla coming. It's like a sound of a fucking bicycle. As in non-existent.
Yeah. There's, I think it's the Chevy Volt. I remember reading when they were developing that, one thing they added to it was like a whistle. They designed the outside, not a whistle, but they designed the outside so that it would make noise as it was driving.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Specifically to counter that exact point. I don't think it was a whistle. It would do something that would make it make no. Like they could have made it completely quiet, but they were worried about people getting hit.
Just have like a goose's honking noise constantly.
Hey, you say that now. My Tesla, I think part of like a software update, you can actually change the honking sound to farting noise. And I think I told Matt this too the other day. We were in like this like intersection, and for shits and giggles, I changed it like a couple of days ago or like weeks ago for like just to like pick up a friend, just to make her laugh or something. So then we were at the intersection, and this guy in front of me just like took his longest time just to cross the street. So I honked him, and what came out wasn't a honk. What came out was a fart. And I'm like, I was pissed before, but now I'm actually enjoying this.
Honestly, that's.
I mean, did he take notice of it, or did he think that you?
Oh, even he stopped and laughed.
Massive fucking fart.
No, oh yeah, it was a long fart. So even the guy stopped and laughed. I'm like, I wanted the guy to cross faster, but now like he's just standing there and laughing, and I'm laughing.
It went from road rage to everyone's just they've got a smile on their face.
Yeah. I mean, it's the people who are too stuck up their own asses that if you use that on them, and then they're even more pissed, and that's even better as well. People self.
That's the thing. I think I still do. I need to check this, but I do still have a reserve down on the Cybertruck. And oh god, do I really? I want it, but I'm still not sure if it's practical. My current car I've had for 10 years now, and so I'm kind of like, I don't know. It's.
Hey, I can also make this offer too. Like, if you end up getting it, whether you get the Cybertruck or not, or you just get a Tesla, we just installed a Tesla charger in our home, so
I'll have an excuse to visit more often.
Exactly, and you can charge for free. So it's kind of like getting gas without paying.
He says free now.
Hey, it's actually ridiculously cheap to charge a car. Like, I probably charge my car once a week, and you're looking at something along the lines like $14, $15.
Yeah. And I did find out that the parking garage that's attached to my condo has a charge, like electric car spots. And I think they might actually be cheaper than the normal ones because they get subsidies from Massachusetts. But
and now that we, I think we just have like a new infrastructure plan that might even get more subsidies. So we might see more electric chargers pop up.
Yeah. Woo.
Well, I hurriedly wrote up this morning when I woke up because I had a brilliant idea.
Okay.
A kind of test for the two of you.
Okay.
See just how strong your bromance is.
Oh boy, this is gonna fail.
So there's 20 questions.
Oh god, we're springing this on people mid segment, but I love it. Let's go.
Yeah. So I will give you. And I'll switch who's getting there each time. 2 choices, and you have to guess what the other person would prefer. Okay. So, as an example, ketchup or brown sauce, or steak sauce, I guess you'd call it.
Yeah.
So one person has to say what the other person would pick. Okay.
Gotcha.
Record your own points because I'm not that.
I've got my notepad. I'll record them.
Awesome. Okay.
Wait. So is brown sauce and what?
Or ketchup, but that was a test one. That's not happening. All right.
Okay.
Okay. So
as just a freebie,
Raymond, go on.
I'm pretty sure for both of us it would be the steak sauce. I don't know, Raymond. Am I right about that? Are you a ketchup guy?
I heard ketchup, brown sauce, and steak sauce. So it's like
brown sauce
three
is
choices.
Brown sauce. There's a British sauce that's just called brown sauce. It's essentially steak sauce.
Oh, got it. I'm a ketchup guy.
Oh, okay. See, I was wrong.
Okay, so
glad that one didn't count.
As our glamorous guest, would you like to be the first one to guess, Raymond, or would you like Kaiser to be the first one to guess what you?
I'll be the first one to guess.
Okay. Number 1. Does Kaiser prefer books or audiobooks?
I'm gonna go with books.
That's right.
Bam.
I'll listen to audiobooks out of convenience, but I always
when he's
prefer...
driving, but he always brings a book whenever he travels.
Yep.
Okay. Well, okay, also, by the way, some of these questions, depending on who gets them, might be a lot easier or a lot harder. But anyway.
That's half the fun.
Kaiser.
Yeah.
Does Raymond prefer Transformers or Gundam?
Oh, Gundam.
Oh, he's absolutely right.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Wow, 2 for 2 so far. 1 point each.
That one would have been trickier if it had been the other way around.
Yeah. Really?
I think it might have been. But
I think obviously Transformers, no?
Honestly, if it's the other way around, I think I may have guessed Gundam as well because he had it. But I remember there was some case he was talking about Transformer and he really liked it as a kid.
Yeah,
the original movie, yeah.
So this might be a tricky one for me.
Yeah, if we're talking about like the old school like Transformers from the 80s, I probably would choose it over Gundam. If we're talking about Transformers in its entirety, I'd probably lean more to Gundam because I think that there's more Gundam that I like, more Gundam series I like overall.
I think the first time I helped Matt move out of his parents' place 10 years ago, I think I spotted like a Wing Zero.
Oh yeah, yep. I've got a Wing Zero model back home.
Well,
sorry.
Does Kaiser prefer pork or beef?
Porn or what?
Pork. I know it's episode 69.
I heard porn.
You know
too.
I'm gonna put one of those in there. I'm gonna go with beef.
You are correct.
Oh,
He likes bulgogi, but
true.
I think like overall, I would say that Kaiser enjoys a nice steak.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That's what tips it over. If it was like ground beef and pork, they're kind of on the same level. But if we're talking about like
a whole meat.
Oh yeah. Give me a steak. Yeah.
You know he likes a mouthful of meat.
Okay.
Just because it's episode 69.
It does.
You know I'm gonna be slipping these things in there.
Slipping them in. Okay, Kaiser.
Yes.
Does Raymond prefer Germany or Korea? Ooh, he's having to think about this one.
I'm trying to think.
I know it's hard for you.
No. This I'm trying to. This is a tricky one because I don't think he has strong opinions on either one. I'm gonna say Korea.
Okay.
Because of some of the media that's come out of there, but
then you get the German sausage and the beer.
Not only is he correct, he's also correct on the other point because even I don't have a preference.
Yeah, I was like, I don't think he has a very strong opinion, but
I think the only reason why I lean Korean was because at one point I was really into K-pop, and not the modern K-pop where guys look like girls. I'm saying like K-pop in the 90s where they were trying to emulate. They were trying to emulate the American, boy bands, and like, the gangster rap and all that stuff. So they had different styles in the 90s.
I see.
And the early 90s K-pop girls, woo.
There you go. That's all you have. Germany doesn't have that.
Next one might be fairly easy one for Kaiser. Does Raymond prefer?
Wait, no, hold on.
No, it's my turn. Right?
It's Raymond's turn.
Yes, sorry. Yes, the other way around. Apex or Splitgate?
Splitgate.
Yeah, he's right.
Oh, okay. Bam, that was a bit easier. Is that
he enjoys more like the Halo-esque type of like shooting games.
Yeah, Apex is a lot of fun, but the PUBG style games like the Battle Royale stuff have a little bit too much downtime for me. I feel like
you guys have played Apex for a lot longer.
Oh, we have.
Oh, we have. I think we've been playing for like probably 2 years.
Oh yeah, but I probably wouldn't...
enjoy. Like I enjoy these kind of games because like it feels like survival, like with your gang, kind of like Walking Dead without the zombies.
Well, that's the thing. I probably wouldn't have played it nearly as much if not for like playing it with friends. Same thing with PUBG. Honestly, half the fun of those games is you're going in with your squad and you're trying to survive together. You're all, covering each other's back or doing a poor job of that, or in my case, ziplining away.
Oh yeah, sometimes they're lining away without your teammates.
Yeah. Or just Juan's ahead of me and I just want to catch up, so zipline.
Yeah.
Anyway,
while also leaving me behind.
Yeah, because
that seems to be a theme.
Well, can't you use the zipline as well?
He can, but what would normally happen is I'd be fiddling around with something in the back. Juan would just sprint ahead. Raymond would notice Juan leaving and would start following him. And so I would shoot a zipline from where I was on a high point to wherever Juan was going, but it would go over Raymond's head so he couldn't reach it. And so he'd have to run to catch up to us.
Small person syndrome.
Oh, God. Anyway, all right, so this one's mine.
Okay, yes. Norse or Greek pantheon?
I'm going to say Greek.
No, it's my guess.
Yeah.
What do you mean? You just guessed the German versus
No, you just guessed Apex or Splitgate.
Oh shit.
We were just talking about it.
But I'm gonna say for Raymond, I'm gonna say it's Norse.
Is right.
Yeah.
I think the Norse are definitely cool. Honestly, I would have thought Norse was your favorite.
I like both. I like both. It just feel like Norse has a lot of mystery behind it.
Yeah.
It's got a lot more beefy guys with hammers and shit.
Well, to be fair, this has nothing to do with the Avengers and, the MCU and Thor. Like, I just liked it because it's mystery surrounding it. The Viking TV show and, and And just like God of War also helped too.
Have you read Norse Mythology by Neil Gaiman?
I have the audiobook.
Yeah, so do I. Great book.
It's really, really good. I think, like, if I remember correctly, half that book is just like how Loki was trolling the entire pantheon.
Yeah, that's basically
That's just Loki thrown in every series, no matter how fictional.
But to be fair, Loki is involved with like literally every saga in like
everything that goes wrong. Yeah,
right.
Yeah. All right. Next question, and this time it is Raymond guessing about. So Raymond, you are guessing.
Yeah.
All right.
Raymond, you got stuck with a real fucking toughie.
All right.
Kaiser, does he prefer his sandwiches cut in triangles or rectangles?
Oh, damn.
The real questions are coming out now.
Hey, all my years knowing him, I've never seen him eat a sandwich.
This is where romance falls apart.
I'm gonna go with triangle.
He is actually right.
But it's a lot harder to have, like, let's say a sausage sandwich if it's in triangle.
That's You mean hot dog?
Yeah, no. So if I'm eating a sausage, I'm eating it on a sub roll or something like that. Like even if I'm having like a bratwurst or something like that.
Or like
it's like
bad thing to do.
It's like this. Yeah, this is you guys know what motion I'm making. People who can't see the camera, just like there's not going to be a video for this, but you know what motion.
If there was a video, I would obviously make that comment. But I'm pretty sure this is just purely audio.
Okay, good job.
But yes, he was right.
Kaiser,
have we? I don't think either of us have missed one yet.
No, you haven't. It's very
knock on wood.
All right, so I'm guessing.
Yes. Does Raymond prefer the Mass Effect series or the Halo series?
I don't think he's played either one.
Shit. This is the problem. I don't know that well the games that you've played.
No. I'm just trying to think. I think I'm gonna say, from what I know about Raymond, that I think he would probably prefer the Mass Effect series, because Raymond likes a good like single player story game.
But I don't think there's a correct answer for that, because he's right. I've never played either.
Oh my god!
I've only played the multiplayer for Halo, and I enjoyed it. But what Matt said is also right too.
Because I'm thinking
when I'm playing single player games, I do enjoy a really good storyline.
Yeah, because I'm thinking the games you have played, like
this might be a question that needs to get revisited once I play through both games.
Well, both series of games.
Both series.
I don't play Halo, but I've still played it.
Do I get a point? Do I not get a point? I guess that he hadn't played the games.
That's my fault.
That's right.
Yeah.
Maybe make another game that's not a first-person shooter.
But I do love the fact that, like, I did get it right. He hasn't played through the stories of either game.
Yeah, that in itself.
That deserves a point.
Yeah.
All right.
You're still okay. Raymond, does Kaiser prefer tacos or burritos?
Burritos.
Yeah, that's right.
I think that's the logical answer, to be fair. Everyone prefers burritos.
Tacos are, like, more...
I actually like tacos. I like hard-shell tacos.
Hard-shell tacos are pretty good. They're more, like...
Yeah, soft-shell tacos?
Yeah, they have soft-shell tacos.
They do?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I do definitely prefer a burrito over a taco.
To me, a burrito is just a wrap. A Mexican wrap.
Yeah.
It's
a spicy wrap.
Yeah. All right. What am I guessing?
This one's going to be another hard one, because I imagine he will not use either. But the real question is, which one does he hate least between Twitter and Facebook? Or, sorry, and Meta.
And Meta. Okay. So, am I guessing which one Raymond dislikes more, or which one Raymond...
Which one Raymond prefers, because that's the...
All right, so I'm going to take you on a journey here.
Okay.
I think...
I have a feeling Maggie will answer this right, though.
I'm thinking it's going to be Facebook is the one that he would prefer, because Raymond uses the fuck out of Instagram. And it's owned by Meta. Instagram is part of the metaverse, and so I'm going to say that.
I would say so because I actually don't really use Twitter.
But
I actually never had a Twitter.
Using logic
oh,
here.
there you go.
It's actually like.
Go on.
It's kind of like that like. I don't know if you guys watch Family Guy. They actually did a segment on Twitter, and hey, I saw that face. I enjoy Family Guy. So they did this show, this episode where Twitter. I mean, to be fair, Facebook is probably just as toxic in my opinion. So it's kind of like but Twitter, like they have a chance to like blow up in your face. You make one wrong comment.
Yeah.
But Facebook could also do the same thing. But to be fair, that's why I don't have either. But
yeah.
I do use Instagram, but not for what you think. The algorithm, the meta algorithm, does not work on me when it comes to Instagram.
Now you make me think porn. It's not what you think.
It's not what you think. Well, the long story is, the Meta's algorithm, or Facebook's algorithm, was whether you like it or not, they post whatever in front of you, and there's nothing you can do about it. Like, I don't care about politics. They post politics. I don't really care about my friends, relationship problems. They post that in front of me. So that's one of the reasons why I shut down Facebook.
Old Raymond.
I really don't give two shits about people's like boyfriend-girlfriend problems. And then Instagram, on the other hand, is just a bunch of pictures. So the algorithm works a little bit differently. And guess what I looked at most? You can't post anything political in front of me. All I look are either sports or girls with big titties.
Okay.
So
the only thing that shows up in front of me are, you guessed it,
boobs and sports.
Boobs and sports.
Man. And maybe even doubling up on hot women holding, I was about to say balls, but that sounds a bit...
There are no political posts on Instagram for me.
I see.
The algorithm has determined.
That sparked more of a conversation. To be fair, we normally hate on all social medias, whatever.
We were shitting on social media earlier, yeah.
Yeah.
I do too.
I've actually had a Twitter account 3 times. In 2010, I think it was, Jesse was bugging me to make a Twitter account because he was, I don't know, it was a big thing, and he's like, oh, you should get Twitter, you should follow all this stuff, and blah, blah, blah. So I made a Twitter account called @BagOfDicks, and I got it banned in a week.
Yeah.
And then I never made one again until probably 2015 or 2016. And I actually used it for about 6 months, and it was the least productive I was in a long time, and so I just stopped using it. And then the last time was when we made this podcast. I created the Twitter account for it.
Which never got anywhere.
No, I gave it to you. You posted a few things on it. I tried posting some stuff.
I did it for a month, and I was like, oh,
gave up on it. It just wasn't worth it.
No.
Anyway, next question.
Yes. So, Raymond, I think.
Yeah, it is Raymond.
Would Kaiser prefer for a zombie apocalypse to occur, or for a mandatory worldwide veganism to occur?
Oh, zombie apocalypse in a heartbeat.
Yeah. Yep.
But people would die in a zombie apocalypse, whereas they probably wouldn't.
That's the fun of it.
Yeah, but people probably wouldn't die in... I mean, people would probably die in the veganism thing. There's not enough food. We go 100%
There's only
vegan.
so much grass you can. There's only so much grass you can eat.
Yeah.
I'm sure they'd start eating moss or something, and they'd find a way.
I mean, have you kind of got the theme? Like we kind of like the survival thing.
I dotted a few fucking easy ones throughout. I'm not gonna lie, I never expected the veganism to go. I'm trying to fight the losing battle.
All right. I'm guessing.
Would Raymond does he prefer Halloween or Christmas? Crimbus. Ooh, it's another thought-provoking
this
one.
This actually is kind of a tough one. I'm not sure about this one.
He just comes up with, I hate them both.
I'm going to say Raymond seems like kind of a family man, so I'm going to say he prefers Christmas.
He's right.
I feel like
I have not celebrated Halloween since I graduated college.
Yeah, but it's like there's less stress and you have to do less. You have to spend less things at Halloween. So that's why I thought.
Yeah, but
I do enjoy having people around.
Yeah, I think that's why I chose Christmas. Raymond's a very social butterfly. He likes spending time with family, likes spending time with friends, and so Christmas is much more that kind of an event. So that's why that's why I made my guess.
I do.
Nice. Would Kaiser rather have a helicopter or a submarine?
I'm gonna go with helicopter.
Yeah, I have to think about this myself now.
Yeah.
Like I'm
And
trying
the only reason why I'm going with helicopter because it has 2 giant guns.
Well, like a submarine doesn't have a fucking...
Well, it
No,
depends.
I would just assume it has
Torpedoes.
a nuke.
Yeah.
At
No,
most.
I think he's right with the helicopter, because now that I'm thinking about it, like, I was thinking submarine maybe because, no, yeah,
It's like
no.
kind of isolate. I think like submarine was because like he would
The
prefer to get a little
isolation
bit
thing.
isolated. But I think like there's another portion where if it's a helicopter, he would love to show off those big guns.
You fly around and you get to, like, you could skim waterfalls and stuff. Yeah, no, you're right. It'd definitely be a helicopter. And if I could if it could be a helicopter gunship, definitely. But
Right.
But even
What if the submarine had a nuke?
nah, because you can't use that.
Yeah.
Well, you can threaten people. That's what the...
Well, let's think about it this way.
does.
It's not as fun shooting a nuke compared to shooting machine guns off a helicopter.
Plus, a nuke, you got like what? Maybe 4 shots in the submarine and you're done. Helicopter, you could go
And
for
the
like
cooling
hundreds
period.
of rounds.
Yeah, and the
Shots for a
cooling
nuke,
period.
You can wipe out pretty much any country.
Yeah, but what's the fun in that? It's too easy.
Yeah, especially if I could have a helicopter gunship. Give me an Apache.
I like how it started off with you like being very on edge about it, and then you just by
Well,
the end you're very...
it's something I hadn't really thought about before, but now that I'm giving it some thought, helicopter.
Yeah.
Just like Korea versus Germany.
Now for another round of has Raymond actually played either of these games? Would Raymond prefer, obviously Raymond, Age of Empires or StarCraft 2?
StarCraft 2.
Is that because he's only played StarCraft 2?
No, I think you've played Age of
we
Empires.
played all.
Yeah.
We played all of them. I enjoy Age of Empires, but I like StarCraft 2's, speed.
Right. Okay. I mean, yeah, you
I do enjoy both, but I do prefer StarCraft.
Yeah.
I like more faster paced.
Yeah, Age of Empires is more slow and methodical.
Yeah,
This
I
is
mean,
actually-
we literally had this conversation like a month ago when we were trying the beta for Age of Empires 4.
Yeah.
And we were like, that's one of the reasons we started playing StarCraft 2 again was because of Age of Empires 4. Say, hey, look, after 30 minutes, I got 2 units out.
Yeah. It was more like we played it and we were like, oh, this was fun. Man, I want to play StarCraft 2.
And then Matt over here, or Kaiser over here, like, gets like 6 Zerglings in like 30 seconds.
Oh, yeah.
I feel like it goes on the chart. It would go StarCraft 2, then Age of Empires, Civ.
Yeah, I'll say that.
scale.
I played Civ temporarily, and then I went from Civ to Age of Empire, and then I was like, you know what? Still too slow paced for me. I need to go back to StarCraft.
Fair enough.
The only thing I really liked about Age of Empire was because of the race. Like, I get to play through, the English, the Chinese, the Japanese, go through, like, the historical story mode.
Yeah.
Kind of like the same way why I enjoyed, what was it, Total War.
Right, yeah,
It's very slow pace for me, but the storyline's amazing.
Oh, that's
Which
why
Total War did you play? Sorry. I was just asking, which Total War did you play? Was it Rome? Was it Warhammer?
So the very first one was Rome. I played Rome,
Yeah.
Total War Rome, which was it the second one that came out or the first one that came out? I forgot. And then I bought Total War Japan. That came out a few years ago.
Right.
That was really good, and I think that was around like the Tokugawa period. And then I'm a sucker for Chinese history, so I bought, Total War China, but I have not once opened it.
I wonder if it's banned in China.
I don't think so. I mean, it's
Really?
based on real history.
Well, we were talking about this the other. Well, actually, no. It was Command and Conquer on another podcast. We were talking about games that got banned in China, and or either banned or partially censored or heavily altered for China. And there was one RTS game that got banned because they're like, oh, it made the Chinese army look bad or something like that.
Yeah, Command and Conquer has a lot of. They get buffs from propaganda towers. They get napalm.
Yeah.
They get nukes.
All right. That was my guess.
Yes.
Raymond's.
Okay, getting a bit more intimate now. Scrunched or folded toilet paper?
Wait, what?
So when you're sat taking a shit, You get up.
Well, I know. I heard folded
Basically,
toilet paper. What was
like
the other one?
you could see, yeah. So
Or folded.
either you've got it folded. This is a napkin, not a piece of toilet paper, by the way, or in a ball.
Oh.
And I'm going to say he folds
I'm
it.
going to say folded.
Well, whose turn is
Who's
it?
guessing?
Oh.
Age of Empires.
No, it's
was...
Raymond's the one guessing. So you're guessing folded?
I'm guessing folded.
He's right.
Of course, it's the gentleman.
He's not a barbarian.
No.
No. Well, he looks like one. He is one.
Don't let the beard fool you.
Right, so who's guessing now?
Now I'm guessing.
Yes.
Okay.
By the power of all three of us, we can kind of guess whose turn it is.
Nachos with or without jalapenos?
Oh, for Raymond.
Does he have that strong spice palate?
He does like spice, but the question is, does he like spice on the nachos? I'm going to say with.
I'm going to say with.
Nice.
Good. Alright, that's the correct answer. Well done. There's so many people that don't like jalapenos on nachos, and it's like, it's
jalapenos
just
are
bland
amazing.
without it.
Well, if you ask him, do I want want cheese on my nachos? I think that would have been an easier question.
Oh, well, yeah.
But the jalapeno,
that's like, if you get nachos and it doesn't have cheese, you send the nachos back. Because it's not nachos.
Now you fucked up.
Yeah.
Oh, because now I'm going to say I actually prefer without the cheese, because I'm lactose intolerant.
That's different. But, okay.
I guess you've got a medical reason.
I go for the
Yeah.
guac. I go for nachos with guac.
Oh, guac is always good.
He
But
says
salsa
this,
and sour cream,
but
very important.
He'll
But I
still
avoid the cheese.
he will still eat cheese pizza and then go off to shit for 30 hours.
Well, like
That's true.
specifically a margarita.
Pizza is the only form of cheese with cheese in it that I will have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anything else with cheese, I would like spit it back out, throw up or whatever. But only pizza is acceptable cheese to me.
Yeah, because the lactose intolerant, yeah.
But I will still shit my brains out after eating like a whole entire pizza by myself.
Lovely. All right, mental image. We got like a takeout pizza the other day, and I was like, ooh, it's been ages since I've had like a seafood pizza, right? So I got one of them. The fucking anchovies were so fucking salty on it. I could not taste the prawns or the tuna. It was genuinely like the fucking sea was jizzing in my mouth with every bite. It was just...
I actually never had seafood pizza, but I do enjoy a good wood-fire pepperoni pizza.
It had stuffed cheese crust. That's what I was thinking.
Oh, I actually don't like stuffed crust either.
Stuffed crust is the best.
Maybe it's the marinara sauce that made pizza acceptable to me.
Yeah.
Go on.
No, I was just gonna say I went out for for lunch today. I went into the office. I just had somebody new start on my team, and so all three of us were in the office today, and so I was like, okay, we're all in here. Do like a welcome lunch. We'll go out and we'll on the company we'll do like a team lunch. Yeah. And so there was this new place that was nearby, and we got pizza there. The pizza was pretty good, but it could really have used some more time in the oven. Like it was too soft and doughy. But the toppings and the sauce and the cheese, that was all great, but the bread was just a swamp. Anyway.
Next one.
Guess.
Super fucking easy one. Because I didn't think we were literally going to be talking about it earlier. Does Kaiser prefer whiskey or beer?
Whiskey.
Yeah. Pretty fucking easy. Although...
I travel with this man. We went to a place, and we only visited distilleries for most of that trip.
We were in Kentucky, to be fair.
I will also say... I dubbed, when I was writing this up, I did dub this section called marriage counseling. And I think it does fit pretty fucking perfectly.
It's clear that we've known each other for quite a few years. There's apparently some knowledge has gone back and forth.
Like, you haven't missed any questions yet, and there's 3 left.
All right.
We traveled together, we hang out together, we stayed over each other's places before.
You dream of each other. Anyway, whose turn is it? Kaiser.
Yeah, it's my turn to guess.
It is Kaiser's turn to guess.
Okay. Oh god, it's gonna be another fucking easy one then. Does Raymond prefer aerobic or anaerobic?
I don't even know what that means.
Basically, do you prefer cardio or weightlifting? And weightlifting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even I know that.
Even you know that.
Yeah. Right. If it was the other way around, it would have been easy too. Like I vastly prefer cardio.
These questions, I really should have put these backwards at the end. Raymond, does Kaiser prefer dog or capybara?
Dog or cat, I'm guessing.
No, capybara. Do you know what a capybara is?
I do not.
No, you're allowed to describe it because I was in my...
Okay.
So a capybara is like a large kind of rodent-looking thing. It's a bit bigger than a dog, and it's super chill, and it's like one of the friendliest animals on the planet, basically.
Well, I'm gonna go with dog.
This is the first one that's wrong, and you only know it's wrong because this is a recent obsession of mine.
Got it.
I do really like dogs.
Like months ago, I will say.
But a few months ago, like I found out what capybaras were, and I was just like, this is the most adorable animal I think I've ever seen in my life. It's a giant dog hamster. I think that's probably you were close with dogs, but my love of dogs evolved into a love of capybaras.
Huh. Interesting.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure he'll send you many pictures after the recording.
I'm looking at it now.
Look up capybara chilling with an alligator. Like, there's these animals just will hang out with anyone. There's a video of a pelican trying to eat one, and it just sits there and just, like, doesn't do anything. The pelican's an idiot.
I see a capybara hang out with turtles.
Yeah.
And alligators.
They chill out with every animal.
Yeah.
Surprising it's not getting eaten.
Yeah.
No.
What's up with capybaras chilling with other animals?
Yeah.
Huh.
It's a phenomenon, but now you know they exist.
The capybara phenomenon.
I don't even know what that was prior to this question, but...
I didn't know they existed. Yeah, I just found out about them like a few months
ago.
ago.
I'm happy to get wrong, because now I'm also going, holy shit, this is cute. I'm looking at one just cuddling with a cat.
They're adorable.
This is not part of the quiz. Raymond, are narwhals real?
Are what real?
Narwhals.
Nobbles?
No, you say it.
Narwhal.
I don't even know what that is.
Well, is it?
Do you just with the Americans?
All right. So, but taken outside of context, if I told you that there was this weird sea creature that had a gigantic unicorn horn that lived in the North Pole waters, would you think that was a real creature or a fantasy creature?
I'll say real.
Okay. They are real. I thought it was like some made-up fantasy creature.
I mean, hell, the rebuttal, have you seen an anglerfish?
I've actually seen.
Right.
But I didn't know narwhals were real. I thought it was like a made-up fantasy thing. But look, they're basically like dolphin unicorns. And I think it was during a podcast that I found out they were real, and it was just my mind was blown.
Actually, no, I have seen this before.
Yeah, it's like
I just never knew that was the name of it. But I have seen these before.
It was basically like me finding out that unicorns were real, or like finding out that dragons were real. Like I thought it was a fantasy thing. Anyway, what's my last question?
The final question. Does Raymond prefer Rayna of Rayna's Raiders or Geralt of Rivia? And I mean, as he thinks the character's cool, not he wants to fuck with them.
I was being charitable with my interpretation. Okay. I'm gonna say Raynor.
I don't know who Raynor is, but I do know Geralt.
Really?
How the fuck do you not know who Raynor is? You've just said you love StarCraft.
Raynor's the main character in Wings of Liberty in StarCraft.
Jim Raynor.
Jim Raynor, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I do prefer Jim Raynor over.
Okay.
Because I thought, I only knew. I don't call him Raynor. I always call him Jim Raynor. The whole name.
Yeah, if you say the whole name, then yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Jim's a bit less known. It's less specific than Raynor.
He respects
mainly
him.
because because I usually play Protoss.
Yeah.
Oh,
he
okay.
respects him. So yeah, our dynamic. Yeah, we've got our trio. We've got 2 Zerg players and a Protoss player. None of those filthy Terrans.
Well, you say you're a Protoss player. I'm just not a StarCraft 2 player, generally.
I play the alien robots.
I should have said Zeratul or Artanis.
Yes.
Yeah, then he would have, yeah. Alright, so of all of those, only one of us missed one, and it was only because Raymond didn't know what the animal was. So
True.
I call that
fucking good.
I call that a pass. We actually you know,
19 out of 20.
Bromance.
yeah, exactly. We got a strong bromance going on.
19 out of 20.
Holy shit.
All right. Well, we've gone on a really long time for this one.
I'm just gonna say this one last thing.
Go for it.
Good thing my wife's not listening to this. She's gonna want to play the 20 questions too. Like, how well do you know me? Like,
well, she's gonna try to compete and see if you know her better than me.
Then I'm gonna, oh shit.
I wonder if she'll listen to it and be like, hang on, he only watches football and sexy women on Instagram. I'm banning that account.
Oh, she already knows. She knows the password to my cell phone.
Oh god, that's dangerous.
Oh, I have nothing to hide.
Oh my god. All right. Well, this has been amazing. I think this was honestly the perfect first one of these guest segments. We may have to do something like this again. Raymond, thank you for being on.
Oh, thank you for having me. Always happy to be part of, episode 69.
Specifically, never again is he going to be on. 69 is gone.
It's like, I needed to be here. Now I'm moving on.
Yeah.
All right.
Maybe 690.
He's going to go off and, buy a capybara. All right. This is this is actually going to be the end of episode 69 of the TMCJ podcast. Thank you everyone for listening, and hopefully you will tune in again next week.
Bye guys.
Blammo.